salad, reaching heights, beach salad with the works.
I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the spray, thirsty from the sea, so happy now. I've been playing in the park like children chasing bugs, clumping through the clover field, sing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning as it's way, sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heavens, what a pretty face, beautiful. I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the spray, thirsty from the sea, so happy now. I've been playing in the park like children chasing birds, thumping through the clover, sing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning as it's way, sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heavens, what a pretty face, beautiful. But heavens, what a pretty face. face, beautiful. I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the spray, bursting from the seesaw, laughing out. I've been playing in the park, like children chasing birds, walking through the cornfield, sing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning after twilight, a sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heaven's got a pretty face, beautiful. I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the sway, bursting from the seesaw, laughing out. I've been playing in the park, like children chasing birds, walking through the cornfield, singing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning out twilight, a sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heaven's got a pretty face, beautiful. Heaven's got a pretty face, beautiful. Pretty face, beautiful. You got run away, you got no time to play, but she never will pass up the light. She's as broke as a ghost, she makes great butter toast, and she's been before she end up a wife. The illusion of grace, like a whip made of lace, flashes faintly as far from her face. She will buy you a drink with a belch and a wink, and she'll curse when she shows you her place. The tattoo on her thigh is a fist in an eye, and she tells me the one and the same. I'm a dime, she's a switch, but her mom is a bitch, and I'm forbidden from using her name. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. Met a friend from the Bay, he's as straight as he can, on a window take off for the show. But she'll ruin the day if she can't get away. It's the brilliant party world tour. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll.
Well, they told me when I was young that my fears wouldn't fade, and the man that I made would cascade. I'm afraid the concern was mislaid. But if everything they say comes true, there's not much good that luck will do. I need the strength to get me through.
She's the stars in the range when she takes to the stage, 'cause she reps and she struts like a queen. There'll be blood in the streets, there'll be butts in the seats, 'cause they'll all pay to see her on the screen. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and weird rock and roll. Miss the last train on the red line. 'Cause in
Hello, folks. Thank you for joining us on the N-Quisition, a battle of wits, the game where you can try to outthink the members of Philadelphia's premier comedy troupe, the N Crowd. My name is Mike, and I'll be your quizmaster tonight. And I already want to thank Stevie Majors for donating $10 to us. Thank you for your donation, Stevie. We hope to make you laugh tonight. First time in a long time. Now, if you want to play along at home, a pen and paper might come in handy, as would remembering to semper ubi sub ubi for all my Latin students out there. Now, let's go to our scorekeeper. He's well renowned for his infinite integrity and boundless sagacity. It's Vegas the Incorruptible.
Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Hello, Vegas. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Do you have any idea, or do you have any background with Latin? Do you know about semper ubi sub ubi?
Nope.
I took 3 years of Latin in high school, and all I know how to say is "you are a jackass" and "semper ubi sub ubi," which is always wear underwear.
That's great advice. You could put that on a coin.
Well, you might be asking why we're talking Latin here at the top of the show. It's because
why are we talking Latin here at the top of the show?
See, thank you, Vegas. You're personifying exactly what I'm trying to lay out here.
Oh, I'm just curious.
Well, it's because we are coming up on the Ides of March 15th, the day when Julius Caesar was killed. So I figured it'd be good to start the show with some facts about that Roman ruler.
All right, time. I'm putting on my listening to facts hat.
All right, well, fact number one. When Julius Caesar was kidnapped by pirates in 75 BC, he thought the amount of ransom they were asking for was so low that he vowed to avenge the insult by having them all crucified.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The sailors thought that he was joking, but upon his release, he raised a fleet, tracked them down, and crucified them. And you might think that takes a lot of gall, but not so, as he wouldn't conquer Gaul for another 20 years.
Sorry, Gaul. Sorry, pirates.
I think I heard some of our contestants moaning at that, so we're off to a good start.
Caesar's gonna do what Caesar's gonna do.
All right, here is fact number 2 about Julius Caesar. In the murder scene of the play, The Tragedy of Julius Caesar, the Roman ruler looks to his old friend and utters the famous phrase, "Et tu, Brute," which is Latin for, "and you, Brutus." The fact that he set a play in ancient Rome and could only be fucked to have one Latin phrase is one of the many reasons William Shakespeare is generally considered shit at playwriting.
Yeah, he should have done it all in the original language, like when Mel Gibson made that movie about Jesus. Mel Gibson, better than Shakespeare.
And fact number 3, contrary to popular belief, Julius Caesar was not named after the Caesar salad. In actuality, he was named for the dressing.
The dude loved vinegar and mayonnaise.
Well, those are our 3 Julius Caesar facts. We'll be hearing some more about him during the show since we're almost on the Ides. But right now, let's meet our contestants. First up, we have Betty.
Hi.
Heyo, it's me, Betty. Hey, Mike. Hey, Vegas. Hey, Karen.
Karen's here too. You just can't see her.
She's always here. She's inside of all of us.
To anyone in the audience who doesn't know that she's doing tech, it just sounds like we're talking about a dead friend who is like, she's still here with us.
Karen's always watching. And she's in the chat room.
Now, Betty is a very funny comedian who won Philly's Funniest not too long ago. And just like the N crowd had to do,
Best of Philly, not Philly's Funniest.
Best
a
of
totally
Philly.
different made up contest.
Sorry.
Good.
Sorry.
Hey, don't send us emails, Philly comedy fans.
She also won the Mark Twain Prize and 2 Nobels. So
don't send us emails, Mark Twain.
But right now, Betty, you're doing what we're doing. You're pivoting into live online comedy. So tell us about the Free Fringe. Tell us about the show you got coming up tomorrow night. What are you doing?
I'm doing anything and everything while also doing almost nothing.
Wow.
And the way that I'm doing that is when someone reaches out and wants me to do comedy on virtual spaces, I'll say yes. And then I show up and I turn on my camera and I do it. And I do stand-up comedy sometimes. And other times I wear a mustache and I run around and look at the screen and then duck. And then I pop up, so then like that less funny things.
Depends on the age group you're trying to entertain.
Yeah, it depends on the age group. Sometimes I'm in the basement with 8 monitors running a pharmaceutical conference in China on Zoom, and that's not funny. There's nothing funny about that. So I've pivoted. It feels like a pivot. But tomorrow night, I'm going to be on that, the Mike Peters Mike on Zoom show, which is on, I think it's $5 actually to see this. And then Free Fringe will be what it is. Check out freefringe.com, freefringephilly.com. You guys were a part of it every year, and it will be in some iteration this year. We're just trying to make more space or more peeps.
And what is Free Fringe for some people don't know what the Fringe Festival is. So let's.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Fringe Festival, the Fringe Festival is a festival of artists who create work and put that work on some sort of stage in some sort of place during a couple weeks during the year. And what Free Fringe did was remove a lot of the obstacles that are involved in kind of being included in a festival. It might cost a bunch of money to get into a brochure. It might have to purchase a bunch of extra things and try to kind of find your way through a really busy kind of, not capitalist as much as a like kind of fancy kid club or something.
Yeah. Free Fringe is great.
Yeah. So Free Fringe was like, forget that. How about you do what you want, where you want, and make it accessible. So it's a pay what you will model. So there's no fee to see anything. But every artist that has participated has said that they've made, people want to pay, for the stuff they see though. So they get money as for their art, but there's no restriction. There's no obstacle. Eat the rich, I guess.
Speaking of people wanting to pay for things, put in a link to the thing where you can donate to the N Crowd in the Twitch chat.
Yes, absolutely. Pay the people that are entertaining you. Absolutely. If you are able to.
If you're not able to,
glad you're here.
Just enjoy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's great. We really love being part of Free Fringe. So thank you for that, Beth.
Absolutely.
And lovely.
Oh, it is pretty funny.
And now let's bring on our next contestant tonight, none other than Tanya. Hello, Tanya. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. Michael, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Now, Tanya tells me that she enjoys putting together IKEA furniture, and she is part of the 4% of N-Quisition contestants who are terrified of octopuses.
Yes. Yes. And this is like a new fear that I didn't know I had. Like, as I get older, now I'm afraid of falling. I wasn't before. And this thing with these octopuses or octopi or whatever. I saw a video online and it freaked me out so bad that I'm scared to go back to the ocean.
What was the video?
There was an octopus on the loose. It was on the sand. I don't know if anybody else saw this video, and it was like all the legs were moving it forward. I've never seen an octopus on land before. I've seen it in the water. It looks majestic. On land? No, on land. And the head was just flopping back. You know, it can't sit up right. So the head was just dragging behind it. It was horrific. I wish I could have unseen that.
So you're specifically terrified of land octopi.
Yes. I did not. I don't think I paid attention. Who pays attention to that they come on land? I just never thought about it. And
that
I saw that
one movie, Popeye.
Popeye?
Did an octopus come on land in that? The Robin Williams?
No, they were in the water. He came up out of, I remember I saw that movie 100 times. He came up out of the water. He was huge, and they fought in the water because he kept dragging him down and coming back up and dragging him down. He wasn't on land.
So you're fine with a murderous sea octopus who's humongous and trying to pull you down into the ocean. But if that thing comes on to the sea and tries to sell you a water ice or something,
then I have a problem. Don't come to my area. I won't come to your area. That's it.
Aquariums will have problems with octopus because at night they'll come out of their tank and walk across the floor and go into other tanks and eat the fish and then go back to their tank.
Vegas, that's a lie.
Are you trying to make Tanya like never go into an aquarium now?
I'm just trying to let all the aquarium owners out there know to cover their octopus tanks at night.
I think Vegas is just trying to explain how the octopus got there right behind Tanya.
Listen. This is a genuine fear, and you're laughing, and my heart is racing right now.
I feel like the way that you explained it, Tanya, I'm now afraid of land octopi. That's scary.
You should be. You should.
I wasn't.
Imagine you're just laying out sunning, and this thing with 8 legs and a floppy head just breezes by you, touches you. Who knows?
No.
What's the motive of being on land?
I mean, you need to get a ladder because an octopus can't go up a ladder.
Really? I don't know about that.
Think about it. Think of the balance. It's going to be harder. I just think a ladder would be the way to get away from a land octopus.
So take a ladder with me when I go to the beach.
I mean, why do you think lifeguards are up on that huge giant ladder?
Makes sense.
All right. Well, for more mind-boggling tidbits like that, let's go to our third and final contestant tonight. Last but not least, it's Dan.
Hey.
Dan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I had so many thoughts about octopi.
Share them, please.
Angry jelly should not be that smart. They can totally climb a ladder. They're so strong. Those limbs are so strong. They can open a jar. It's crazy. They're terrifying creatures. They're angry jelly with beaks, and they're smart.
You are not reassuring Tanya right now.
I knew there was a reason to be fearful. I knew it in my heart.
They only live about 5 years, Tanya. That's not that long. You've lived so many octopuses.
I have.
They live fast and hard, though.
Also, they're victims of the climate change that we've wrought
There you go.
across the planet in the ocean.
Oh, we're the scary
What
ones.
if it's just they're morphing and they're just getting stronger and they just all of a sudden now they can vote and they're like out like organizing and they're kind of rallying the crowd. They're creating mutual aid spaces and then they're stronger, smarter, and they're activist octopuses. Or
I do agree that octopus should
Octopus.
unionize.
Octavism.
Optimism. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh boy,
It's a shame.
whole new movement.
I think that they're usually pretty like they're loners. They're not. I wouldn't say selfish. I don't know if I could impart that
That's not
onto.
how they're evolving in 2021, Dan.
That's
they're
true.
Organizing octopuses.
Organus.
They're no longer loners.
All right. Well,
One time I saw a video of an octopus on the ocean floor, and it had half a coconut that it would hide inside of, and then it would get up and go somewhere else and then put the coconut back on top of itself.
Now,
Don't
those
make
are the
me
kind of stories that are going to make Tanya back on board.
Octopus.
Don't try to make it cute, Vegas.
One time I saw an octopus doing a puppet show, and each of its little hands had a little puppet on it, and there were 8, and it was a little song, and it was just dear. It was dear.
That's it. My fear is gone.
All it took.
Oh.
well, Dan, as much as I would love to continue talking about octopuses for the rest of the show, I wanted to have you tell us something that I think is pretty dorky and awesome, which is your rediscovery of the card game Magic the Gathering led you to some creative endeavors that I'll let you tell us all about.
Yeah, so I've been playing a lot of webcam Magic and digital Magic because it's a paper card game and no one's been able to play it. So I really got into it, and they announced that they're doing Lord of the Rings tie-ins, and Warhammer 40K is another kind of fantasy sci-fi franchise that they're doing partnerships with. And I just thought of like a fantasy property that I really enjoyed, and I started making King of the Hill Magic cards. So Hank Hill is a legendary creature assistant manager with 3 power and 3 toughness. And when he enters the battlefield, you make a ladybird companion. So he gets his pet dog. And he also makes it so that propane and propane accessory spells you cast cost 1 less. And activated abilities of propane cost 1 less too. And he works at Strickland Propane, so you can make these propane tanks. And there's all kinds of synergies. It's a great game. It's Magic King of the Gathering Hill on Instagram and Twitch at Dan on the Internets. And these are games that you can play in real life.
Wow.
Dan, what are you, some kind of big dumb nerd? All right, everybody but Dan, turn off your Zoom real quick. All right, Dan, what you playing? You playing standard? You playing commander? What's going on?
It's all about commander. You gotta get Peggy Hill in your 99. You gotta make sure you get all the lands. But yeah, we should play Commander Vegas. Like totally, that's a thing that should happen.
All right, everyone else, turn your Zooms back on.
Oh my goodness, so nerdy, so wonderful. All right, well, why don't we go ahead and get started with the show? Let's start off with round number 1. Jack, be quick. We N-Crowders are currently in a Zoom room and have access to its chat function. I'll be asking 7 questions as Vegas the Incorruptible monitors the chat room. The first one of our contestants to type a capital N for N-Crowd into the chat room after a question is asked will be allowed to give an answer. Isn't that right?
But if you, guess what? You type a lowercase n, you're going to lose 2 points because the N crowd has a capital N in our name, and lowercase n's are disrespectful. And if you type your N before Mike finishes reading the question, or if you type it after he finishes reading the question, but in my Zoom chat it appears before he finishes reading it because of the speed of light or whatever. You don't get to answer if you type your N before he finishes reading the question. That's the rules.
Rules are rules. That's how it works. Heard.
All right. Well, here is the first question. Since we've been talking a lot about Julius Caesar in the start of the show with the Ides of March coming up, I just wanted to mention, first question, what was the name of the war octopus that Julius Caesar used to ride into battle? No. We're going to start with a Caesarean question. In a famous funeral speech from the tragedy
had a Caesarean question.
In a famous funeral speech from the tragedy of Julius Caesar by aforementioned hack Bill Shakespeare, what does Mark Antony want to borrow from his friends, Romans, and countrymen?
Dan, you were the first to buzz in.
$100.
That's not the answer. Tanya, you were second.
I believe it was ears.
It was their ears. That's correct. And Betty, I see the disappointment on your face. I'll just share the chat. Tanya was the second to buzz in overall. You entered another N after Dan got it wrong, I guess. Hoping, all right, now's my chance to answer, but it just goes in the order of who did it first.
I'm going to send you a screenshot of what I see, which is just a giant thing that says Betty was first and is always first. I'll show you what it says on my end.
I mean, the Zooms don't always line up. Yours might say Betty was first and is always first.
Hey, can everyone else mute their chat except Vegas real quick? Vegas, can I borrow $100?
Yeah, you can borrow $100.
Oh, thanks.
Can I borrow? Can I borrow a couple counter spells?
Yeah, you can borrow my whole Corvold deck. It'll be great. All right, everyone, come back in.
All right, question number 2 here. How many herbs and spices are purportedly used to flavor KFC's original recipe fried chicken?
Betty, you were the first that time.
Great. That's exactly what it says on my end. 27.
Incorrect. Dan, you rang in second.
I'm pretty sure it's 11. I'm pretty sure.
11!
Yeah. 11.
Ooh, I should start putting scores into the scoreboard.
I just want to say that on my KFC, I have 27 spices.
Are you sure you didn't eat at 2 1/3 KFCs?
That is a fair question, actually.
Well, here's another question that you won't be scoring any points for, but in 2016, KFC released a line of edible nail polish in Hong Kong. They came in original and hot and spicy flavors.
No.
Anybody know why?
No, that's not true. You're making that up along with the octopus on land. That is not true. No.
I would eat KFC fried octopus if it were available. Like in a second.
That actually sounds really good.
It does.
Yeah, that's just some straight up calamari. Get some marinara on that shit and you're fucking golden.
Yeah, you ever have that double down? Oh boy.
The double down, I've learned this researching this question. The double down was an April Fool's joke. They thought it was so over the top that they released it on April Fool's Day, and it got ordered so much that one day that they were like, we got to keep selling this.
Well, I guess we have to sell sandwiches that have fried chicken instead of bread.
I'll say this. I've gone into the KFC in line in the drive-thru and waited 40 minutes to just get coleslaw because it is good.
Wow. That is extremely confessional of you. That sounds like a low moment.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like what
It's
you
good,
like.
But do you guys have any ideas why they might have released this nail polish, this edible nail polish? What's their slogan?
Because it's finger licking.
Oh my God. Boo. Boo.
Should've just released that here. That would have been.
Hey, Ashley Fee is in the chat room, and she says Dan in all capital letters.
My birthday twin.
Wow, that means the same percentage of N crowders are terrified of octopuses as are born on your birthday, Dan, because Ashley is the other N-Quisition contestant who said she was terrified of octopuses.
Rightfully so.
She wrote, I decided to watch the wrong show because I am terrified of octopi.
All right, gang. Well, let's move on to question number 3 here. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 Olympic Games were postponed. Which city was set to host them?
Eddie, you were first.
Wuhan.
Ooh, it was not Wuhan. Oh, that's a pretty funny answer, but it was not Wuhan.
Are you? It says on my Zoom that it was Wuhan. Are we? Okay.
I think you only read part of the question. The second to buzz in was Dan.
The city of Texas.
The city of there. Nothing about that answer is correct. Tanya.
Brazil.
Brazil. What? It's Tokyo.
Tokyo.
It was Tokyo.
It was
Yeah.
Tokyo.
Thank
They had
you.
the best logo because it was like, boop, 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 boop. If you saw it, you know what I mean.
I just want to say that I was closest with Wuhan, I believe.
You named well, I don't think Wuhan is a city either. We asked you guys for a city and none of you named cities.
I was closest geographically to where Tokyo is.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Wuhan's a city.
I think it's pronounced Wuhan. Actually,
Yeah, they're
sorry about that.
I mean, they are the closest to Tokyo. I